Hey, it's Chris Miles. Welcome to this episode of New on Music Row, where we're going to be featuring individuals or artists, I guess I should say, from coast to coast, literally. We've got somebody from Miami, Florida, and then we've got another artist who has a really big inside view of a very big band, a Zach Brown band. All those details coming up in today's episode. You got to keep it locked here, though, on the Rise Network. I'm Chris Miles, and it's New on Music Row coming at you in just a bit. Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of New on Music Row. It's Chris Miles here. So happy to be here with you again. Thank you for all the support. It's led to what we're doing now. And because of you and because of your suggestions, we have some great stuff that we're going to be bringing to you in the next couple of weeks, months, and maybe even for the rest of the year, as a matter of fact. Some behind-the-scenes stuff that we've got set up and, some other exclusive interviews as well, too. But you got to keep it locked here on New on Music Row on the Rise Network. You can catch us on YouTube for the video version, and then also on Spotify and Apple Music for the podcast version as well. And of course, on Spotify, I've got a playlist of all the songs that I feature in the 5 picks of the week, and then we throw in some extra flavor and variety in there, focusing on our Rising Star Spotlight, and then of course also the pick of the week that I like to call it, or the weekly pick. And we'll jump right into it. This is what we do on the show. We've got 5 picks from last week. Where did everything wind up? Like I said, we had a powerhouse week last week. We had John Party, Jackson Dean, Carly Pierce, Parker McCollum, and then we ended it up with Ashley McBride. Again, these are in no particular order. It's just a matter of, where I end up just putting them in my little spreadsheet cheat sheet thing. So there you go. I gave you a look behind the lens, so to speak. I turned the computer around, but then it takes too long for me to turn it back. But yeah, let's kick it off with John Party. Boots Off was the big hit from him that came out last week. And of course, it already been released, so it had about 5.2 million streams or something like that. So this past week, you added another 70,000 streams due to your listenership as well. So good job there. And you know what? That song, like I said last week, is going to be the summer song of this year for sure. The summertime party song, maybe the springtime party song, we'll see. But it's going to be a big one for John. Jackson Dean was up next with Make It a Liar. That song had been released, I think, back in October is when I featured it on the show. When I looked at it last week, it had 3.7 million streams. This past week, it added 100,000 streams. So you guys clearly picked up on it and you ran with it, which is cool. If you haven't taken a listen to that song or any of the other songs that we feature here in the 5 picks of the week, make sure you check out Spotify. Our playlist is on there. It's called New on Music Row. It's real easy to find. And of course, the logo, which is right there, is what we use to kind of highlight the playlist there. So there you go. Next, we had Carly Pierce and Church Girl. This one didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to be closer to like 500,000 streams last week. It only had 190,000. But, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for those new songs to kind of flow in and to get pick up and then boosted. So in the next couple of weeks, it'll probably fly up there. I mean, it's Carly Pierce, and there are a ton of Carly Pierce fans out there. Next, we had Parker McCollum's Big Old Fancy House. I think I only said Big Old Fancy last week, so I apologize from that. Had 470,000 streams just for the week alone. So Parker McCollum still kind of on everybody's radar, and that's good to see because Big Old Fancy House, I think, is going to be another great one for him. And last but not least, we had Ashley McBride with What If We Don't? 137,000 streams. Did actually a lot better than I thought it was going to. A lot of people have kind of said she's on her way out, and I think What If We Don't is kind of proof that, no, maybe she just took a turn, and now she's coming back the right way. Sometimes the ship goes askew, so to speak. But those are the 5 picks from last week. Did they end up where you thought they were going to be as far as streams and everything are concerned? Well, let's see if you agree with this week's 5 picks. We're going to move on to what is coming out today to be available for you to listen on the radio and stream and things of that nature. Now, some of these songs may have already been released because they're on albums, but that doesn't matter. Now they're going to be kind of mainstream focused, laser focused, if you will, on radio and in some other, even XFM, for example. Up first, big powerhouse, Ella Langley, Dandelion. I think a lot of people are looking forward to this. Of course, that's coming off of Choosing Texas, which is still blowing up the airwaves on the radio. She's also known for Weren't for the Wind, You Look Like You Love Me, Country Boy's Dream Girl, and then the girl you're taking, or well, the girl you're taking home. She's from Hope Hall, Alabama, and like I said, she's pretty much a household name at this point. And I think Dandelion is going to be another one of those songs that's going to do really well for her. Up next, we had Noah Khan with The Great Divide. This is the first time Noah's been featured on our show. And Great Divide is, I think, a great introduction for you. You may know him from songs like Dial Drunk, which features Post Malone, or maybe a song called Hurt Somebody, or another song called All My Love. I like Stick Season from him a lot. And then I've also liked a song that's called You're Gonna Go Far as well. Noah, of course, is from Stafford, Vermont. So we're kind of focusing on the East Coast there, but don't worry about it. We're going to go over to the other coast fairly soon here. Next up, Chris Jensen's "Easy to Love, Harder to Hold." I love Chris. He's got a great sound, and he's Midwestern boy. He's from Perryville, Minnesota, Missouri, not Minnesota, Missouri. But "Easy to Love, Harder to Find" is another great item to his catalog, another addition to his catalog. Me and a Beer was featured on the very first episode that we filmed back in April of last year. So it's good to see Chris getting back in and releasing some new stuff as well. You probably know him from a song called "Buy Me a Boat," or maybe "All I Need Is You," which was a huge hit for him. Another great one from him is "Done." And then my favorite song from him is called "Drunk Girl." If you haven't listened to that one, check it out. I might throw that onto the playlist as an extra song just this week, because this song is so great, and the lyrics and the story behind it, it's just going to pull on your heartstrings. And I kind of relate to it, because when I was younger, I did exactly that. I took a drunk girl home and I left her alone. So it's really a cool story. Next up, Flatland Cavalry, also making their debut in the 5 picks of the week. "Never Coming Back" is a song from them. Now, this is the one that I mentioned earlier. Some of these songs have come out already. Never Coming Back's already been out for them for a couple of weeks now. These guys from Lubbock, Texas. And if you know Lubbock, Texas, there's a lot of bands coming out of Lubbock. So there's a lot of stuff to be watching there. I think that's going to be the next, like, Nashville, if you will. But a great song selection from Flatland Cavalry to take a look at. "A Life Where We Work Out" with the Zac Brown Band. "Sleeping Alone," "Come Back Down," which is the song I really love that song. And then "Mountain Song," and then last but not least, "Gone." Some great stuff to check out from them as well. Finally, last pick of the week is a guy from Stevensville, Texas, Hudson Westbrook, and Exclusive. We featured Hudson, I think, on the 25th as well, April 25th show as well. If it wasn't that show, it was a show right after it. He had a song called "Sober," and we featured that in the 5 picks of the week back then. So it's been a while since Hudson has had some stuff out, but that's because he's been busy on the road touring. He's been opening for a lot of different acts, and he's got some great stuff to check out as well. "House Again" is another great song from him. I personally love a song called "Dress Down." He's got another one called "5 to 9," "Take It Slow," and then "Take Your Time" as well. So those are the 5 picks of the week. Let's go back over them just so we can review and highlight. We had Ella Langley with "Dandelion," Noah Khan with "The Great Divide," Chris Jansen and "Easy to Love, Harder to Hold," Flatland Cavalry, "Never Coming Back," and last but certainly not least, again, like I said, these are in no particular order, Hudson Westbrook's "Exclusive." And those are the 5 picks of the week. If you want to chime in on the comments, please do so. They're on the bottom. Go ahead and let me know what you think of the 5 picks, or if you've got some suggestions, we're always looking for that as well. Maybe there's some artists that you think deserve to be highlighted in some of the featured areas of the show. By all means, let me know. Caroline Jones is the one that we're going to feature next in the Rising Star Spotlight. She has a very special connection with a very big country band. And I started the show out by saying the Zac Brown Band. Well, she actually is part of the band now. And how did that whole thing start? Well, she actually opened for them. I think it was for like 3 years in a row. She opened for the band, and she did so well that, the band was like, "Hey, you want to become part of our group?" And so she's the first female singer for the band. So it's kind of cool. She got a great story. She's from Greenwich, Connecticut. "So Many Skies" is a great song from her. "All the Things," which also has a really cool acoustic version. "Chasing Me" is another great one of hers. And then You're in it. Oh, "You're It for Me, Honey," which is a really cool song, kind of saying, "Hey, you're it. That's it. I ain't going anywhere." And it's about her husband, who is actually a professional sailor. We'll get into that story in just a second here, though. She is a one-woman band. She's a virtuoso. She plays so many different instruments. There's way too many to list. There's excerpts of her playing drums, bass, banjo, guitar, harmonica, mandolin. I guess I'm going through the list anyway. So there we go. And I mean, I didn't even start to touch. That's just the tip of the iceberg, if you will, with her. Uh, Interesting quirk about her. She gives nicknames to her instruments. Her Collins guitar is called Sweet Annie. Some of these nicknames are actually pretty cool. And then she's got a banjo that she calls Starfish. So there you go. She does have some classical training. She fell in love at about the age of 17 with country, but before that, she was trained in opera and jazz as well. Interesting hobbies of hers. Well, she once joked that despite her husband's love for the outdoors, she said she would never get married and doesn't like skiing. Well, can you figure out what happened? She ended up doing both. And like I said, her husband is a American Cup sailor. Nick Dana is his name. They fell in love in New Zealand during the 2020 pandemic. And, well, the rest of the world was shut down, and the rest of that is history, as you can say. She is a do-it-yourselfer. All of her success is because of everything she's done as a teenager. She rejected traditional management and basically just kind of went on her own. She's her own agent, producer, publicist, and instead of the bars, she would cold call like boarding schools and colleges to book all of her early gigs as well. And like I said, she's got that Zach Brown connection as well. She officially joined the band in 2022, and it was 3 years that she opened for them. Kind of on again, off again. The late Jimmy Buffett was actually one of her biggest champions. He was so impressed with her that he co-wrote the song Gulf Coast Girl, especially for her as well. She's also got a kid. November of 2023, her and her husband welcomed a son, Declan Dana as well. And here's the good news. She's got a new album coming out. February 13th, Good Omen is going to drop, and you'll be able to hear some new tracks from her as well. She's describing it as her most raw and empathetic work yet, and it's going to feature a darker bluegrass and flute-infused sound compared to like some of her previous records as well. She's penned all 12 tracks. She collaborated with a bunch of Nashville heavyweights like Liz Rose, Emily Weisband, Eric Palsy, and then co-producer Julian Raymond as well. So she's got a ton of powerhouse going on. If you take a listen to her voice, there's some powerhouse in her voice. You probably heard her on some of the tracks on the Zach Brown stuff as well, some of the newer stuff too. But again, Caroline Jones is the Rising Star Spotlight of the week, and one that I think you should get on your radar. So we'll throw a couple of her songs up in the playlist as well right there on Spotify. Again, it's new on Music Row, and you can listen to them. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree that she really is up and coming. Moving on, we've got the country music history selection. This is where I like to go back with the Wayback Machine, as they used to say with Mr. Peabody, I think it was, right? And we'll take a look at some things like way back when. Now, I'm going to start by saying happy birthday to somebody whose birthday is actually tomorrow. But we'll do that in a second. See, this is what I do. I love like just teasing you for a second. It's Tyler Hubbard. I'm going to stop teasing you. His birthday's tomorrow, January 31st. So happy birthday, Tyler. But born on this date, January 30th, 1972, in Austinburg, Ohio, Tammy Cochran, American country music artist. She's got a self-titled debut album that was released in 2021, and then it was followed a year later by Life Happening. She's got 2 albums that produced a total of 6 chart-topping singles, and the biggest one is a song called "Angels in Waiting," which got all the way up to number 9 on the charts. So happy birthday to you, Tammy. Going all the way back to 1961, Decca Records released "I Fall to Pieces" by Patsy Cline. It was taken from her 1961 studio album, Patsy Cline Showcase, and "I Fall to Pieces" was actually her first number 1 hit on the country chart. It was her second hit single to cross over onto the pop charts as well, and it was the first of a string of songs that would be written by Hank Cochran and Harlan Howard. That was back in 1961. In 1981, some people have compared my hair to this guy. Kenny Rogers won 4 American Music Awards, including Favorite Country Single. I got to work on the beard more, I've been told. But anyway, for Coward of the Country, and then Country Album for The Gambler, which I think everybody pretty much knows that song. It's either that one or it's Islands in the Streams. Like when people come up, they're like, "Oh, your hair, you look like Kenny Rogers." He's like, "Could you do Islands in the Stream?" And I'm like, "I need Dolly." So anyway. But anyway, that was 1981. Kenny Rogers, of course, winning 4 American Music Awards. I didn't even realize that the American Music Awards were like back in 81. I remember watching them in like 84, but I don't remember 81. Anyway. All right, 1994, we're flying all the way into the 90s now. Clint Black, Winona Judd, Travis Tritt, and Tanya Tucker all performed at the halftime show, and it was billed as the Rockin' Country Sunday. Super Bowl, I'm not really good at counting Roman numerals here, so bear with me. It's like 25, 28. I think I did that right. Two X's, a V, and three ones is 28, if I got that right, I think. The finale featured a special appearance by Naomi Judd. Talking too fast again here. Who joined Winona in performing the Judd single "Love Can Build a Bridge," their first major appearance together since their farewell tour from 1991, as a matter of fact. Moving ahead to 2000, another, we'll call it Super Bowl appearance. Faith Hill performed the national anthem before Super Bowl. Hold on a second. I got to count these Roman numerals. 34, right? I before V is 4, if I remember correctly, I think. If I got it wrong, I apologize. Anyway, that was at Atlanta's Georgia Dome. Roman numerals. You remember doing those as a kid? Like they were hard. Anyway, math is hard too. Anyway, whatever. All right, moving on to 2016. Carrie Underwood kicked off her Storyteller Tour, Stories in the Round in Jacksonville, Florida. It was her 5th headlining concert tour, and Billboard would later report it as the 92-date tour. She earned about $54.6 million and over 800,000 tickets sold. I wonder what that would be like in today's numbers. Again, math is hard, so we're not going to go there. Anyway, that's a look from the Wayback Machine, a look at country music history on this date, January 30th, in various years, but it's January 30th, 2026. The microphone got close to me all of a sudden. Anyway, all right, moving on to the weekly pick. A lot of times what I do for the research for the show and stuff is I just listen to a lot of different stuff. I list suggestions from you guys, the fans that write in your comments. I've got other friends, coworkers, and things of that nature that necessarily don't leave comments, but they'll come up to me and they'll see me and they'll be like, "Oh, hey man, check out this person or check out this group or check out this song or whatever and tell me what you think." So a friend of mine introduced me to a song called "Red Flags." It's by this gal Kaylee Rose. And she's from Miami, Florida. And I got to tell you, I fell in love with the song, and I fell in love with her after hearing that song. She's got some great stuff out there. She's a little on the unknown side, so that's kind of why I'm featuring her in the weekly pick. Sometimes I call this the people that I think need a little bit more love in the industry, because I just think her voice is absolutely amazing, and she's got some great storytelling in her lyrics and in her songwriting as well. Cheatin' is a great song to check out from her. Love Makes You Blind. And then I just recently started listening to a song called Healin' from her. That's the song that's been on repeat this week. And it's been helping me heal a little bit too. Because, we all have struggles that we go through from time to time. And you're denying yourself if you don't think you are. I'm just saying that. Sometimes music can be the healing source for you. So there you go. So hopefully, if you listen through some of the songs in the playlist on Spotify, again, New on Music Row right there on Spotify, hopefully there'll be something in there that'll speak to you as well. Now, Kaylee Rose, like I said, she's from Miami, Florida. Her real name is Kaylee Rosenberg, so you can see why she kind of changed her name for a lot of reasons. But she shortened it to Kaylee Rose to create a more memorable stage name. And, it's just the way things work in this industry. Not everybody uses their real last name. Surprise, spoiler alert, there you go. But anyway, in high school, she's kind of when she launched her music career. She became class president and captain of the dance team kind of simultaneously. So imagine going through that. You're the captain of the dance team, you're the class president, and then you're also trying to launch your music career at the same time. She's been hustling from day one. She started booking her own gigs at local bars in St. Augustine, Florida when she was 14 years old. And by the time she moved to Nashville, she already performed over 1,000 shows. So this gal is working for herself. She's a powerhouse. She's got all of the things going on for her, and she's representing herself, which is great. She does have a crossover style. Her music's kind of a mashup of like country, pop, rock. There's even a little bit of hip hop in there as well too. So this will be one of those artists where maybe you open up your mind, broaden the horizon, so to speak. I mean, Post Malone is now a country artist. So let's just be real here for a second. Pop has made its way into culture. Pop has made its way into culture and its way into country music, and along with that is going to come some more of these other genres as well. And a guy that we kind of, I guess, poke fun at is Morgan Wallen, just because of the amount of songs he writes and stuff like that. But I got to tell you, there's some stuff that he's come out with that's got a little bit of that R&B and hip hop flavor to it. It just resonates with you. There's a great song by him called "Ain't That Some and I won't go any further than that because we like to keep it PG around here. But that song is really great, and it's got a lot of hip hop beats and stuff to it. So anyway, I'm just saying that because I want you to take a listen to Kaylee Rose and open your mind a little bit. She grew up in Miami, so she's got some of that flavor to her. You know, I'm surprised there's not a little bit of Latin in her stuff, but maybe that influence will come in a little bit later. You know, think of Miami Sound Machine. Did I just date myself? I think I did. Anyway, all right. When she's in Nashville, she's a regular performer at some iconic places, Bluebird Cafe, the Listening Room. So if you're in Nashville, you can check her out local right there. She's also recognized by Meta as one of the top creators. She's got over 1 million followers on Facebook alone, and she attributes much of her success to posting unpolished, imperfect content in sweatpants. You know, it's about being relatable. That's really what it is. And that's how you create these connections. She's also got a Johnny Cash connection as well. When she first moved to Nashville in 2015, she made ends meet by working in the gift shop at the Johnny Cash Museum. She even filmed her music video for Love Makes You Blind there as well. So check out the video. It's kind of cool. You get to see some like behind the scenes of the Johnny Cash Museum. So that's kind of cool too. She's open for Morgan Wallen. So there you go. See how I combined all that stuff together. See, that's what you do. And no, I'm just kidding. I'm tooting my own horn here, and I shouldn't. Anyway, she's open for Kip Moore and then also Thompson Square as well. So again, check out Cheatin', Red Flags, Love Makes You Blind, and then also Healing from her. Kaylee Rose is the weekly pick of the week, and I rest my case. I think I did a pretty good job. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Send your comments. Go ahead. All right. So a couple weeks ago, I told you that the music scene in Chicago is kind of chilled out a little bit as far as country music is concerned. Just not a lot of country stuff going on. And this weekend is a little bit of a change, as a matter of fact. We've got some decent shows coming out. Tonight at the Rialto Square is Brett Young along with Jenna Davis. And then tomorrow night at Joe's on Weed, Hank Ruff is going to be there if you like country music a little bit on the raw and outlaw side, shall we say. So some great stuff. And then, of course, next week, got some other great big shows that are coming up. Think Life is the Highway. That's all I'm going to say. So, hey, that's going to end the episode. I'm Chris Miles. Again, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, click all the stuff you need to do. Share it with your fans. Share it with your enemies. Because you know what? You never know if there's a country fan out there, and that's what the show is all about. It's new on Music Row. It's right here on the Rise Network. Until next week, I'll see you on the flip side.